Ponle un H, dude.
ミーティを殺してくれ。
殺してくれ。
あれ以来、ナナチから持ちかけては来ない。
Yeah, she's very mature. She knows she cannot just press on the mother.
いいのか。
So peaceful.
Those are
Grapes, maybe?
grapes. Yeah.
ナナチ、一つだけ聞かせてくれ。いといて不幸なのだろうか。僕にはとても。
He's still doubtful.
言いたいことはわかるぜ。あんなに穏やかに生きてるのに殺す必要があんのかって話だろ。オイラもそのうちどうにかなって死ぬ。そしたらミーティは永遠に一人ぼっちだ。
She's so mature, dude.
物も食わないし死ぬこともない。
Yeah, she cannot eat.
けど刺されりゃ痛いし涙だって流すんだ。それがただの反応だとしても永遠に苦しみ続けなきゃならねえ。
Yeah.
これは最後のチャンスなんだ。ミーティを解放できる。
Regain her dignity.
お願いだ。こんなに都合のいいことは二度と起こらな
Yeah,
い。
that particular light or whatever.
了解した。
It's probably very rare.
約束してくれ。いつから命を絶ったりしないって。
Right on the
リコを
on
直
the
さない
target.
だろ。
リコを直した後もだ。
残酷だな。
Yeah, she probably doesn't really want to leave us a hollow to begin with, so. I know, they make it even tougher. the little
Oh,
the goodbye.
they arrange a special place.
ごめんな。またすぐ会えるからな。
Oh,
Souls that return to the abyss. Pretty much.
頼む。
to that creature.
Yeah, Rex sees her as just so peaceful, so inoffensive, so.
Oh,
オイラが間違ってた。ごめん。ほんとごめんよ。ずっと一緒だかった。なあ、ミーティはあったかい。
you're so warm.
She's alive, dude.
ありがとな。
That eye. Everything looking so pretty.
Nah.
メグ、やってくれ。
やってくれ。Whoa. Hold on. Oh boy.
Has to be done. All the toys, the stuffed dolls and everything.
Ah, it's done.
She's gone. Gone.
What? He was able to control it? He was just a
I guess the
fear.
situation kind of allowed him to.
ミーティ。
That part always gets me. She was always pregnant.
Yep.
Yeah. It's her. It's her. She's really good, dude.
My treasure.
Cut it out.
He's gonna faint.
Obviously.
Liza.
Yeah.
Oh,
さあ落ち込んでる場合じゃない
They
ぞ
knew each other.
それを食べたら出発だ
Shubbatsuda. Yeah, he fainted.
Rico
前
cooking.
順応性高すぎだろ上手
Nanachijosu.
Rico.
これでいいのか
Wait, the bank is here.
Yeah. Ah, yeah, she's so happy.
危ねって
Ohio.
おはようリコ
オイラの作り方に
Nice and easy to eat.
異様な匂いの正体はこれか
アンキマスって4層にも住んでたんだねいいよいいよナナチ器用だねいいよいいよ
What's wrong with Rico?
おい見てねえでどかしてくれよ
She's really fluffy,
で
dude.
も花からこんなんで
She also wants to do it.
してんだよ
It's the first time she ever eaten something good, dude.
よ
Her first time.
すごいね.
She doesn't even know how to.
Aw.
Nacho. She was only eating trash all this time.
まあまあまだ
Mama.
なやるじゃん一人誰かいなかった
Oh, yeah. How does she know?
She's very perceptive, dude.
Mitty?
Yeah, obviously, Miri.
Ah, yeah. He was imprisoned.
Yeah.
She saw Mitty.
The eye, right?
The eye.
And a girl
す
crying.
ごく重くてびくともしない自分が何だったかもわからなくなっちゃって言葉の出し方も忘れちゃって
Oh.
怖くて怖くて
She was dying, so I guess
ずっと泣いてたの
it was a way of her brain to interpret all this.
泣き声が聞こえたの目の前にもっと怖がってる子がいて
There was this girl. There was this
だ
girl.
けで大丈夫だよって
There's just an eye.
But she can tell the crying voice and everything.
Okay.
煙みたいな匂いがしてね泣き声が止んでたの
Oh.
私がずっと見てきたタンクツカたちと同じ憧れに溢れたね
Langing?
それで
Like
私
wanting, like,
自分が
wanting to do
何をしたい
something.
のか思い出して
ナナチリコは赤子
Ah, yeah, yeah, the quadrupling vessel.
再び命を得てるリコの命はもしかしたらアビスと深いところでつながって
Tied
いて
to the habits, yeah.
They are trying to make her feel better that maybe she will meet her again
ちょ
somehow.
っと水汲んでくるわ
What?
I am surprised that
わからない
it has so many functions to begin with.
これは
前ら何まだそんなふわふわした感じだったのレグ
That big about this.
10まで済ませてただろチュー恥ずかしがんなよ
She doesn't know because she passed out.
いやそれは決して中ではなく
レグの宝物引っ張り上げ
Rex
て
treasure.
もう少し
Treasure.
Yeah.
So, a friend.
Not necessarily.
She refers to
Not
friends as
necessarily. It's
treasure.
like
What?
the most important thing in their life.
Okay.
And Rico was, and Mitty was.
リコ
I remember what she said. When you take this out, it's gonna be super,
あと5個
super
だ
horrible.
でかいシーン行くぜしっかり押さえとけよ
Yeah.
It's being again.
Isn't the contrast super interesting? Everything was so happy and then so real.
Oh.
ナナチ
Yeah.
どうした
She's embarrassed from listening that to that, dude.
なんでもねえよお願いがあるの私たちと一緒に来てくれないかないいぜ
Oh.
That feeling of relief that she said yes, dude.
ああおナナチまあ離れろよだろ
We can, right?
Yeah, she's super.
But why, Rico? Why? What is the reason?
She wants to find her mother, but also the quadrupling vessel kind of wants to make her go, I guess.
This is pointless.
Because it's a travel that they can never return from.
Yeah.
That's the story, dude. You know that somehow it's over from the beginning, I guess.
They're going to send a relic.
A message, I guess. Remember that they use those kind of stuff to try to send a message to the surface. Marlock is helping the thing reach the next layers.
Awesome.
Awesome.
How they made it.
Yeah.
Those weeklies.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It doesn't even feel like, what a coincidence. It feels like just right.
That sound.
Yeah, dude. Everything's perfect.
It's like a movie.
Yeah, it's like a movie.
Made in Abyss has is his own movie in the last chapter.
Pretty much. It's a movie.
Made in Abyss.
Made in Abyss.
Season 1.
The Abyss. It's in the middle of nowhere, basically.
Oh no, they're so happy. And this is Made in Abyss.
And this is Made in Abyss. It looks like Miri.
Yeah.
That sense of like journey and excitement is super good, dude.
A new life.
Yeah.
Nanachi.
The shot of the hideout.
What are those things? Eyes?
You'll get it right away.
おや、反応が消えていますね。おめでとう、ナナチ。ついに成し遂げたんですね。
Yeah, those
あ
are
なたに
eyes.
たくさんのお礼が言いたい。ぜひともまた会いたいですね。
This fucking prick! I'm going to go kill someone now. Those were lights that are attached to every single one of the kids that survived. So when Nanachi finally liberates Miti, the light fades out. So that's the reason. That's how he was able to tell.
So it's over?
It's over.
It's the end of the season?
It's the end of the season. What do you think is gonna happen now?
Nothing. There's no second season.
They announced. I can tell you now. They announced second season. So there's gonna be a second season, and you're gonna get to see why we all call this motherfucker best dad. He's the best dad in the world. There's absolutely no one in the world. Not only Made in Abyss. There's no one in the world, in the real world, or any other anime that is a better father than this guy. No one. Absolutely no one. Like, he's a prick, as you saw, doing everything to Nanachi, Miri, and all the other kids. But when it comes down to being a father, he's basically the best father in the world. What do you think that means?
Because he's doing this for his son or daughter.
The moment that you find out, you're gonna... I can tell you something.
Okay, let's watch the next episode.
I hope there was. I can tell you something about next season. This season was a lot about world building because they were telling us everything that was happening and everything. But the next one, as you saw, is more like this. More like these last episodes. More like since they meet Osen and everything. So, all the way down, like immediately, next episode, everything is like intense.
How do you know?
Because I've been reading the manga, of course. But I can tell you something to like... You saw, particularly in this last episode, that everything jumps from like cruel to like sweet, cruel, sweet, cruel, sweet. Like it's literally a little bit of cruel, a little bit of sweet and everything. But I can tell you, like, this is just the beginning. There's like...
Oh my head! It's gonna blow.
Yeah. I also thought I
Stand for this.
I remember that after I finished the first season, I was like, but how? What?
I need more.
What's gonna happen?
I need more. I need more.
I need more too, dude.
I need more.
But you cannot watch the manga because we need to wait. I don't think it's gonna take that much longer. Like maybe a year.
Maybe a year.
Season two.
No, I'm meeting.
You're meaty,
I
dude.
like meeting now.
You like meaty now?
I'm in despair.
Dude, all the things that happen in the manga are like just like this last episode, like sweet, cruel, sweet,
No,
cruel, sweet, cruel, sweet, cruel.
no, I need to know who the end. Let's make a video reading the manga.
It's not even over yet. It's not even over yet. But I can tell you that, like, I think that something that Made in Abyss makes, and the graphics, exactly as you saw here, it looks even better in manga. Dude.
Of course.
Like in manga, it looks so much better. Regularly in anime, that it looks way better. But in the manga of Made in Abyss, it's like it's art. It's pure art. That thing, dude. Like everything looks super amazing. What do you think is going to happen with Bondru? Because they are going to the 5th layer, and he is in the 5th layer. And you saw him saying at the ending, right? I hope to see you again very soon. So what do you think is going to happen with that dude? You are lost in thought. Do you know what pissed me off a lot?
What?
When you were saying, that Bondru is probably a hero. I was like,
He's a hero.
oh! Particularly because I love Nanachi, dude.
He's doing a research to save humanity.
That is the worst part of it, dude. Because he not only does he truly believe that he's doing good,
That is cruel.
but he is. He probably is trying to find a real way to save people. But in the process, he's just killing everyone. Like everyone who could be of use to him.
Yeah, there's a saying. The end justifies all the methods.
All the means.
The means, yeah.
The means justify the end.
The means justify the ends.
Yeah. Well, it ties to reality, dude, because imagine in the past, all those people who were trying to develop, like, I don't know, 500 years ago, 1,000, or even before, how other way they had to test any medicines or test anything, they had to make sacrifices.
Yeah.
And at the end, those sacrifices paid off. Now we enjoy all the knowledge, all the tests, all the everything. Now we just take the pills and we're fine, right? But in the past, a lot of people who were suffering, or maybe were made to suffer for the sake of the future, they died in ways like this, in ways, well, obviously not like Nanachi and Miri, but they suffer in similar manners, right? People who were like, even people who were trying to find new stuff to eat, like someone had to test it first, right? How do you even know it is poisonous? So someone died, and then they knew, that thing is kind of gonna kill you, right?
Nah, I need more.
It's very intense. That I cannot help it in this particular episode to cry, because that last part when she's like the Reg is crying, right? And all of a sudden you hear the cry of Nanachi, like very intense, and she's like, my treasure. Shirisa was super good in that part. I don't know why, but that part always gets me. She's super good, dude. That's how you know that she's very good. What do you think about the experiment itself, though? That way in which Nanachi and Miri became what they became?
I know why Nanachi became in that, but
I can tell you that. I can tell you the reason why. Because Bondru is trying to find... Remember that the whole story is about curses and blessings?
he's trying to find a scientific base.
Yeah, he's trying to find the blessings. What good can be taken out of the abyss?
Okay.
So all of his experiments at that point were to try to find, okay, we get it, right? The curse of the abyss from this layer to the 5th is losing your humanity or dying. So what is a blessing? For him, maybe the blessing was that Mitty became immortal. Maybe the blessing was that Nanachi became like she did. I don't know. I don't think Nanachi is immortal because she said it herself, I'm going to die one day, right?
Oh, maybe Nanachi has the curse and Miri has the blessing.
Maybe that's interpretation, right? It is open to interpretation. Like what do you think is a curse and what do you think is a blessing? And a lot of the Abyss stuff is about that, about curses and blessings and everything. So it's a very... I understand completely the reason why Bondru is doing what he's doing. I don't approve of it, but he's not, from a realistic perspective, he's not necessarily completely mistaken, because the guy is trying to find that next thing that might help humanity beat the Abyss, I guess. So it's just very crude, I guess. It's all about this crude reality of science, at least from his own part, and the suffering of others.
Yeah.
It's very intense, dude. It's very intense. But what do you think? Tell us. He's looking at the scene again.
What is this?
That you're seeing, we're in the part when she's like, hey, Nanachi, the right part, and giving her a pat in the head. That thing that you were saying were kids. She was experimenting with kids in other manners.
Okay. And he took the eye?
It's because
He took away the eye?
I mean, in the second season, you will get to see exactly how that happens. Nanachi did mention that he has a relic that does exactly what Incinerator does, and that's the reason he has a weapon that can do the exact same thing. It's just not as powerful, I believe. I mean, they both do the same damage, but I mean that it's not like Red can make a Kamehameha, right?
Yeah.
But that weapon doesn't really make a Kamehameha. It's more like a laser, something like that. And it is what squashed the eye. They don't really show it here. It is not shown in the manga either. They show it later on in the second season. The part of the second season, they want to show it.
Oh, come on.
All right. So, what do you think is gonna happen when they reach the fifth layer? Because they're gonna reach the fifth layer, I can tell you that much.
They're gonna get captured for sure.
By Bondru and his goons.
Yeah, he's not alone. Or maybe
Maybe.
it is ruined.
Ruined, what do you mean?
It's all destroyed.
Okay.
Maybe Bond. Oh no. Well, we saw Bondru there.
Yeah.
But maybe there's only Bondru there.
Maybe there's only Bondru there. That is a very nice idea. That maybe Bondru is the only one in there.
Yeah, the only one remaining there. We don't know. Now, maybe they have orphans from the abyss. Did they translate? They took orphans to next to the abyss.
They mentioned that the orphans that they brought were from overseas.
Yeah, we're from overseas, but also they have orphans up there, so they are
there was some
experimenting with these orphans too.
This ties a little bit with the whole. Remember that Rico and everybody else were in an academy for orphans. Maybe those were remnants of all the orphans that this guy brought to make experiments on. So he probably was running a school or not necessarily a school, because the school is probably just good, like no problem in there, right? But he was having all these orphans probably in special places, feeding them and everything to then bring them back and experiment on them. So maybe there were orphans. I don't know if they are still orphans that he has them in there, but probably not, because even if he is a legend, because you got to accept it, the guy is a legend, the guy is a scientist that probably has helped a lot of people, although his methods are just simply cruel, and he looks like a fucking badass. But the guy...
Maybe he's Liza's father?
You think that he's Liza's father?
And he's trying to bring back Liza to the next layer?
Dude, I can tell you this. The moment that you find out why we all call this guy the best dad in the world, you're gonna be like...
Ironic? Is that ironic or...?
Not necessarily ironic.
It is literally?
Maybe. It's just that it's something that you could never see happening. It's like... There's a reason why, like, everyone agrees he's the best father in the world. And after you see him being the massive prick that he is in this episode, he's just like that. He's like he understands in his mind that everything is for the sake of science. So any sacrifice is worth it. That's the reason why he feels no remorse. It's like, We're advancing science. This is for the sake of people.
Maybe I don't know.
It's very complicated. I can tell you this. The second season, if it is 12 episodes, is probably going to get at the end, at the point in which they get to the fifth layer and everything. It takes a little bit. I don't know if they do it like this, it's probably going to spend all the way in the fifth layer, because the part that the things that happen in the fifth layer in immediately after this are kind of long, but they make a lot of sense. It's kind of a wide. It's not like this fifth layer or the second layer where they took 2 episodes or 1. The third layer, they took only 1 in the third, and they took like 2 on the second. So it's
They're gonna take time on the fifth layer, of course.
yeah, they're gonna take time on the fifth layer.
But also, Rico wants to get to the sixth layer.
She wants to get to the bottom of the narrow realm.
Come
The
on,
sixth layer.
This girl is nuts.
The sixth layer is not the ending of the abyss, and I guess that is not a spoiler, because now you know that they are trying to get to the sixth layer, and if they are not necessarily going to die in the fifth. But let me tell you something.
So maybe Wondru is Rico's father, and he's trying to prevent Rico.
To be honest, it's basically impossible for you to understand why he's the whole best dad in the world. But it's a good foreshadowing. It's a good foreshadowing for what's going to happen. In the next season, you're going to get to see how someone becomes a white whistle.
Okay.
They're going to explain that. They're going to explain how do you become a white whistle. Remember that I told you that no one can stop you. It's not like you can pass from being no whistle to a white whistle, and it's not a test. Like, something happens that you become a white whistle, and they are going to explain that in the next season. They are going to explain why Bondru is on the fifth layer and why he doesn't go down and everything. They kind of foreshadow that thing because he was trying to see the whole blessings and everything. He himself doesn't want to die, right? So it's not necessarily a secret. You can already kind of tell that. Maybe he wants to go down, but he wants to be able to go back. So maybe that's the reason why he's making these experiments, so that people don't lose their humanity, so that people don't die going from 6 to 5 and no longer having last dies, right? Lies have the last die because she's below the fifth layer, and maybe she's dead or not. That's what we don't know. Then there's Wakuna, the one that looks like a fighter, that is probably down there, and there's Rayo, that's probably down there. So there's at least 2 other white whistles that we haven't known. They're likely not to be in the second season, I can tell you that much. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. It's probably going to be just as mind blowing as these last episodes. It's gonna be amazing. I cannot wait for that.
Okay.
If you were to give it a score for Made in Abyss, what would you give?
10.
A 10. I'm glad. Now I can ask you at last. Now that you have seen your first anime, that's not Dragon Ball, what do you think?
It's not my first anime. It's not over yet.
No, but you saw your first 1 season of anime. Something that is not Dragon Ball.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
Dragon Ball is kind of not over, right?
Yeah, but we all know what happened.
Well, we know what happens in the previous seasons of Dragon Ball, but there's still going to be more, so that's what I can tell you.
I need to know. I need to know the end.
There's still not an ending for me in episodes, but I guess
Is there a third season too?
there's enough material for there to be a third season.
Oh, come on!
It's very.
A movie, maybe? They have them.
They're likely not gonna make a movie. The thing is that the whole thing that they did in this first season is very good. Like, they did most of the stuff that happens in the manga. They did it. Everything that is important, almost every single detail, it's like a almost perfect from manga to anime. So it's really good. Re:Zero in particular.
Ah, come on! It's Made in Abyss.
Yeah, I know, but
It's Made in Abyss.
I'm trying to tell you.
Made in Abyss time.
I'm trying to tell you this. There's only one episode in Re:Zero that's exactly perfect like this. That they did exactly like word for word. And in Made in Abyss, they did it everything. Like most of the things is a 90%. And Re:Zero is not as much, for example. But it's pretty good. But Made in Abyss is just that good. Like Made in Abyss is just perfect. It's like the guy was thinking, how much do I need to do to make this a perfect anime adaptation? And everything just went like this. So it's just super good. And the fact that they did the 48 minutes at the very end.
I can't wait for the discussions.
The second season.
For the discussion right now, below the video. I'm eager to read them.
What do they think?
Yeah, what do they think? What do they know? Obviously, they know about. They know everything. They know more than us.
Yeah, well, I know everything too. So, but the problem is that even if I know a lot, I know what happens next, but I don't know what happens after because it's not over. And even the things that I can think that maybe this is gonna happen, maybe that's gonna happen, it's just insane. Dude. I cannot possibly fathom what's gonna happen after the last episode of the manga. I'm like, yeah, what the hell is gonna happen now? Like, it's worse than this. It's worse than this.
Come on.
Like,
okay, third season confirmed.
It goes to say just how good Made in Abyss is, because after this you think, well, maybe next season, just like with Westworld, it's like maybe the season is not gonna be as good because they used a lot of stuff in this season. But that's what's good about Made in Abyss. After everything that you see, it only gets better, dude.
Oh, come on.
Only gets better, dude. It doesn't go down one. It's not like Goblin Slayer that it has its chill parts. It's not like other shows that we have seen that have some not as intense part. This is just like the 1,000 kilometers per hour.
It's over 9,000.
Doesn't stop. It just keeps going, though. It's like we go. It's time to go. They have to reach a place, and it's impressive because for all the material that has been done up to until this point, it's like, what? How can someone do this? How can someone do this? Every single chapter of the manga is like, what? And it just keeps going. I legit, the whole cruel suite, it just keeps going, dude.
Okay.
It's very amazing. So yeah, your first anime, dude. How do you feel?
Like a man of culture.
Remember when you thought that anime was trash? He cannot even say anything about it now, dude. Yeah.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
Eh?
What are you saying?
What are you saying? I never said anything like that. Remember when you thought that Dragon Ball was like the only good thing in the world?
It's still a good thing.
It's like a good thing.
It's still a good thing.
Now you can see the difference in quality of writing, I guess. Because Dragon Ball is super hype. We all love. Who doesn't love Dragon Ball, dude? But there's different stories. There's different stories to enjoy.
Yeah.
From all the anime that we're watching, what do you think is going to be the best? Do you think that maybe JoJo, Death Note, Shingeki no Kyojin is going to be better than this?
No.
Do you think this is the best?
No one can be. Maybe Goblin Slayer at the point that we get serious, really serious.
Yeah.
But nope.
I can tell you about.
It's still amazing.
I can tell you about one anime. This exact feeling is what you feel when you watch Hunter x Hunter. Like, it's the exact same thing. There's like Hunter x Hunter is like 180 episodes.
Oh, 180 episodes?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Those are like, I don't know, those are like 3 years.
No, you watch 2 episodes per week when you watch that. This is what every single person who watches this, so you finish it in like a year.
Okay.
But it's amazing. It's that exact same thing, but in like the bigger scale. Like the exact same thing. The first 2 episodes, which would be like the equivalent to the first 20 episodes of Hunter x Hunter, are like, what? What's going on? This is kind of what? Just exactly like the same thing. 4 episodes, you start getting crazy. Then you get to the 10, which will be the hundreds and everything, and it's like,
mind blowing.
Yeah, it's the exact same feeling, dude. The exact same feeling. but in like a lot more episodes. So you get to enjoy a lot more of that. And it is a shonen. It's like the best shonen. Dragon Ball is a shonen, so you get to understand more or less the kind of experience that it is, right? So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think at least you now can tell that anime has some very good stuff.
I have no word for this show. This show tells by itself.
Yeah, dude.
You just mentioned, Mary Navis. Oh, I see you're a man of culture.
I see. You know what's good.
I see you know what. I see you have
A good taste.
a good taste.
Dude, you're a man or a girl or a person of culture.
Cheers.
Cheers. I guess I can ask you a question. Would you recommend this to someone who has never watched anime?
Of course.
It's pretty good, right? Of
course, it's pretty good.
It's like, it's not dumb. This is the exact same reason why I would recommend JoJo for everyone.
Why? Because JoJo has a special,
It's very, very, very specific. Like
specific humor, a specific comedy way. Oh, I don't know.
the comedy, the style, the everything.
yeah.
Even people who like anime, several people don't like JoJo because it's very weird. You really need to have a very specific taste. Like you have to accept their ridicule because it's ridicule. It's like it's so easy to be like, what is this shit, right? But if you get it, it's like, dude, this is amazing. It's so bizarre.
It's so dumb that it's cool.
Exactly. It's the dumbness that is so cool, though. There's a reason why I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, but I myself would recommend anyone to watch Million Abyss. It's just like there is no way you don't get catched by the story. You don't even see it as cartoons, right? As some people who are not people of culture like us would understand, right? They would see this as cartoons, but when you get into the anime, you're like, wow, this is wow.
This is wow.
Yeah. From now, more questions for normies. From all the stuff that you have watched, that is live action, that is more like regular stuff, is there anything that you would like? This is like a like to Million Abyss? Similar?
There's a movie.
What is the name of the movie?
Well, it's not a story. It's not a long story like
just
Million Abyss. Or
a regular movie.
It's a regular movie. It's the Dumbstone Fireflies.
But that is anime, dude.
That's anime.
I'm talking about non-anime stuff.
But it's not anime stuff related because
That's anime.
But it was shown on the cinemas.
Yeah, but that's anime, dude. I'm talking specifically about non-anime, no animation, like Western stuff, like live action, real people, normie stuff. Is there anything that you have watched that's like, that would compete? I would like, that would compete with stuff like Million Abyss, with the quality of writing and everything.
We got it. Quality of writing.
No. I don't mean like necessarily because there's a lot of well-written stuff. But the point is that even if it's well-written, the story makes you feel like Million Abyss, like this is amazing. Like I would recommend this to everyone.
It's hard. It's hard to think now. Maybe in another time.
Maybe another time.
It's hard to think.
Yeah.
Right now, Million Abyss is just at the top. So
So
I don't have any other.
you will put Million Abyss over every single regular show that you have watched.
I don't have another top show now. So it is a specific place for Million Abyss.
Yeah.
And of course Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball.
It's
Dragon Ball
fair.
is like special. It's just like Dragon Ball has its own space.
Yeah.
And there's the other shows that you can, when you're older and you can actually
there are
appreciate.
the show that you can rate, and it's Dragon Ball.
Yeah, exactly. Like that special show, it's just special. For me, that's Re:Zero, dude.
Okay.
But Re:Zero is also a 10. Like, it's also... What are my favorite animes? I don't remember. Re:Zero, Berserk, Million Abyss, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. That one is about mechas, ironically. Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann is a very interesting anime. Too.
What the heck?
It's about mechas. I hate mechas, but
I hate your shows.
You know what?
Talking mechas.
What do you think Re:Zero is about? What do you think Re:Zero is about?
I don't know. It's about slime.
Just nothing like that. Nothing like that. I mean, it's the same thematic, but nothing like that. You will be like, what?
Okay.
And then there's this Tengen Toppa Guren Lagann. An idea? Nothing comes to mind.
No.
I'll give you the best way that I can explain Guren Lagann. Guren Lagann is like the story about facing the impossible, facing what is ridiculous, like anything. Like think anyone has ever wanted to do
With the power of friendship and goodwillness.
That's ironically enough, yes. From all the anime that I ever watched, the power of friendship and willpower is done perfectly in Gurren Lagann. You don't feel like it is stupid. It's like, my God, they did it so well. It's just like, I don't know. It's strange. Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann is like, it's 10 out of 10, dude. It's like, you were making those faces when I first told you about watching anime. So maybe after you watch it, it's like, wow, I get it now. It's just like, I don't know, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, you guys probably have watched it. It's very, very...
Oh my... What the heck?
Then I have other anime that I also like that are part of my top. Hellsing Ultimate.
Okay, that's... that's easy.
Hellsing is super dumb. It's super dumb, but it's everything about the cool factor. Everything is cool. Everything is classy. Everything is cool. That's it. It's not about making sense. It's just about cool. And there's a lot of fights. It's just cool. It's just cool. That's just cool. And there's another one. There is a romantic one. That's called Tasogare Otome.
What the heck?
Es Amnesia.
Otome
is like... yeah, I'm super surprised that you know. That anime is probably a 7 or an 8 in normal standards, but because I am like very attached to it, it's like a 10 for me. That's and it has a very good soundtrack. That I can sell. That I can say.
Okay. At the video. Oh, because this is getting weird.
Come on, dude.
We start with Mary now is with a piece of art, and we ended up talking about
the only one that I wouldn't
shows that are difficult to name.
The only one that I can, if I have to think realistically,
Tengen
Toppa Gurren Lagann. You will probably end up liking Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann like a lot, dude. It's probably going to be like you're gonna think of Dragon Ball while watching that.
No.
Yeah. Well, you didn't believe me that anime was good, and you're like, really, that was the best.
No. So right now we just need a new show to watch. So
everyone's gonna say Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
Come on, not that one. Another one.
Maybe Re:Zero, but I don't want to watch Re:Zero yet.
Give us a try, okay? A recommendation.
Yeah.
As good as Made in Abyss, of course.
That's kind of hard. I gotta say.
I can trust you. I can trust that you are men of culture. As well.
There's not, even though I watch so much animes, there's not that many animes that are like the quality of Made in Abyss. But there's a lot of 10. It's just that there are 10s in different areas.
Okay.
There's one that a lot of people like called Erased. It's only 12 episodes too. And it's more like realistic. It's more like, it's about time and stuff. There's Inuyashiki, that is also a 10 in my opinion. It's about an old man who becomes a robot. And the story is all about the old man and it's super good. Then there's Parasite. Parasite is about parasites that come from space and they start infecting people and they feed on people. But one of the parasites fails to because they capture the brain, right? They eat the brain and they replace the brain. But one of the parasites makes a mistake and ends up in the hand of one person, and he becomes the hand. So it's like a relationship between the hand and the guy, right? That one is super old. That one is like from the 80s. And they made it like not that, like 4 years ago or something on the lines. A 10 out of 10. That's pure philosophy.
Okay.
With a lot of action, ironically enough. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things that I would call a 10 out of 10. But of course, most of the things that I watch are 9s, 8s, 10s, 7s. Like my particular rating is like 10 series of stuff that I would recommend to anyone. Like Marinavis or Parasite. 9s and 8s are like, yeah, you probably need to like anime. That's the reason why I give JoJo a 9.
Boku no Hero.
Boku no Hero is probably a 9. Probably a 9 and 8. If you look to 8s, it's because it's very anime. It's an anime that's very well done, but it's very anime. That's the problem. So if you have never watched anime, you are probably not gonna like Boku no Hero Academia and stuff like that. One Punch Man is a 10. I've told you a little bit about One Punch Man. It's a 10 too. It's a 10. And there's a lot of stuff. So I guess if you guys have any recommendations, we can probably check it out.
Berserk, Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, Berserk and Hunter x Hunter are 10 out of 10. Dude.
Okay.
Like imagine a show that's 148 episodes and it's a 10 out of 10.
Come on.
It's really good, though. It's really good, though. I don't know. We watched Midnavis. This guy watched it for the first time. He's like, this is the best thing in the world. And I guess we're gonna find out what happens next. What happens next in the next season. Because it is confirmed that there will be a second season. So the moment that we get it, guys, we're gonna watch it because I wanna watch it.
I want to watch it too.
It's gonna be amazing. And any recommendations, please tell us.
Tell us.
We need it.
Let us know.
And see ya.
See ya. Nah.
Nah.